Hi, I'm Charlie Allred, and I'm here with Mike and Janae, and we completed a short sale for them successfully. So I just wanted to talk to them about their short sale experience. So you guys, what made you do a short sale?
Well, we decided that it was time to take the emotions out of it and just make it a business decision. It was becoming overwhelming how far our house was underwater, and we just said, you know what, it's a business decision. We have to do it.
And how far were you guys underwater?
We were about $130,000 underwater.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. And so then what stopped you from doing the short sale sooner or thinking about it sooner? What were the factors?
Yeah.
I think in the beginning it was just so hard to believe it was truly happening to the market that it was just easier to pretend it wasn't happening. We were in a house that we loved, and we had picked everything out and bought it brand new, and we were happy with everything. And we wanted to stay where we were at. And so I think...
So you liked the home, but you didn't want to look at the possibility that maybe it was a bad business decision because you were attached to the home?
Yes. Yes. And I think we were holding out hope in the beginning that, this is all just going to blow over. The market was going to come back, and it was going to come back strong and quick, and everything would be fine.
Mm-hmm. Who buys a house and thinks it's going to be a bad investment?
Right.
I mean, everyone's always told, you buy a house, you can't go wrong, you'll always make money. It's the smartest decision you can do with your money.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And your biggest investment, really.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So how was the short sale process for you guys?
It was a long process for us. But I gotta say, I mean, SRE, we got 3 approval letters. When everyone said that we couldn't get it done, I mean, we did. I mean, we got it done 3 times.
Because we had to have 3 separate buyers because buyers kept walking away, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for different things, but
mostly because it was taking so long on the bank's end
Yes.
that they just got tired of waiting and fell through with technicalities at the end. Yeah. But yeah, so that was very hard. The hardest part was how long the process took and how frustrating it was dealing with the bank.
Yeah, the bank, definitely. But I mean, SRE you guys were on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, with the letters, I talked to Kelly, and Kelly was always on top of it. She was always giving me updates, letting us know where we stood. Again, the bank was horrible, but that's, these short sales are hard to do sometimes, and
And were we good at keeping you in the loop and kind of keeping on the bank and being diligent with the bank and trying to make it so it wasn't your stress?
Yeah, I mean, we couldn't have done it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't recommend anybody doing a short sale without SRE. I really don't. I mean, because you can't depend on a regular realtor to do the things that you guys were doing. I mean, honestly. And I've told some friends already about you guys, but you can't use a regular realtor. I can't stress that enough.
Wow, we really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I'm Charlie Allred. So in this testimonial that you just watched, you met Mike and Janae. Now I want to go over a few items about the transaction so you get a real feel for the transaction and then the testimonial and the way the client felt after. So item number 1 that Mike and Janae talked about is that they are $130,000 underwater when they finally decide, oh my gosh, we need to do something with this house that we love. So that's a big kicker because they said, we expected the market to come back quickly and it just didn't. So we finally had to decide, okay, we love our home, but we need to move on. Now, most of your clients will say that. So that's kind of item number 1. This was a referral from a relationship we have, and they send us plenty of referrals. So this client actually came to us referred from someone else. So that's something to think about as well. This client specifically wanted to stay current on their mortgage. So Mike and Janae said, we don't want to miss a mortgage payment. We want to buy another house. And all the loan officers told them it couldn't be done. We found a loan officer. We got it done for them. They purchased another house and short sold their home. Now, they said the process was long. Now, the reason it was long is because we had to find 3 separate buyers. Now, why did we have to do that? Okay, so because the client is current, the seller's current, we so how does this, let me back up a step. The client is current. So usually what happens is when someone's current, the lender expects them to then pay money at closing. Even though they're current, it's like, oh, pay us extra money because you have money to pay your mortgage payments. So that's what happened. Wells Fargo came back and said, seller, you need to pay us $3,000 or we're not closing. The first buyer wouldn't pay it. So we said, okay, nope, we're finding a buyer that'll pay this $3,000 for the seller because we represent the seller. The second buyer couldn't get their financing, I believe. And then the third, obviously, was a cash buyer, and they paid the extra $3,000 for the home, and we closed the transaction. So really, the goal here was that we had an approval, so it was just finding a buyer that met that approval, and we were willing to wait. It didn't take long to find the next buyer. I mean, it was like one day. It's like one buyer fell out. We found the next buyer the next day. We worked that transaction, and then again, maybe we had to find another buyer. But it wasn't really all that much additional work because we already had the approval. And again, using the short sale system that we use, it makes it really easy for that to happen. So obviously, they talked about the smartest decision for their money. They talked about the long process, the 3 approval letters, and then lastly, that a regular realtor couldn't get this done for them. And it's true. That client specifically, it's a hard deal keeping your seller current and getting the short sale, number one, approved, and then closing the transaction, because the lenders are going to drag their feet if the client's current. So like, they can pay their mortgage. Why would we let them do a short sale and write off this huge amount of debt, which in their case was $130,000. So again, thanks so much, guys. All right, I'm Charlie Allred. Hey, if you liked what we have to offer here on our short sale blog, check out moneymakingshortsales.com, where we talk about our ultimate short sales system for an easy to implement system to have commissions just falling in your lap with short sales. Thanks, I'm Charlie Allred.